Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the Simpsons house. The entire thing inside and out. This started as a city build tutorial, as kind of a general suburban house, but I figured what better suburban house than the Simpsons house? This would make an awesome Easter egg in your cities, and I just think that it'd be absolutely insane. It's so much fun, just the idea of putting this into a world filled with other suburban houses and having people like come across this and being like, hang on a second. So I have tried to recreate this as best as I possibly could. I did a fair amount of research in floor plans and in room designs, and as I said, I've tried to do the best job possible. So this is kind of like the entrance hallway. We've got the stairs, of course, we've got paintings, we've got a clock on the wall. That's supposed to be a grandfather clock, but there wasn't room for it. We have a lounge room. I'm not quite sure what to call this. It's like a front room. It's not a living room per se, but it's got a piano, we've got a fireplace, we've got a sofa, we've got a desk, we've got another little chair. We have the actual living room with of course, the classic sofa. We have the TV with the rabbit ears. We have the sound system. We've got the picture above the sofa. We have the kitchen as well. My favorite room of the entire house. It just feels so lovely. It feels so alive. I really like it in here. It's definitely my absolute favorite room. It just feels full of life. It feels so nostalgic. We have the inside of the garage as well. The car is, of course, outside. I think that you guys might have spotted that before we came in here, but we have all of the stuff that you might expect to find in the garage. This room, I had no idea existed. I'm not 100% certain what this room is, but it's got a lot of storage in here, and it's got a TV and like a beanbag and a unit. I didn't know it existed whatsoever. We have a cellar slash a basement, and it's also like a little utility room as well. It's like a little storage room. It's supposed to be a little bit bigger, but I'm in a classic super flat world, so I actually couldn't dig any deeper. So we've had to just kind of like make do, because if we take a look below, yeah, that is nothing right below. So this is as deep as we can go. If we come back upstairs, we can head through into the dining room over here, which is of course where they eat all of their meals, or some of them, you know, make a good effort. We have the dining room, leading us up to upstairs now. Come up to the top of the stairs. If we take a left, we have the master bedroom, which is of course Homer and Marge's bedroom, nice and laid out. Not sure about the lamps, but you know, I think they certainly make a statement. They have an ensuite bathroom here with a little shower in it, size of my actual real-life bathroom, and it's just like a little extra bathroom for them. If we walk down the hallway, we have an attic. You can actually get into the attic, which is just absolutely crammed full of stuff. So we can actually get in here, and you could even plop a couple of Easter eggs in here if you wanted to. As we move down the hall, we have Maggie's room. So, of course, we have like a crib, and we have like a little baby cage, as I call it. Like, we have some shelves, a chair. Across the hallway, we have Lisa's room, which has like a bed and loads of bookshelves and a desk and a little closet and all sorts of stuff in here, some posters on the wall. As we move down the hallway, we also have Bart's room, Alberto's room. We have his bed, again, kind of like another open closet, a desk, a bookshelf for some reason. I can't imagine Bart reads. We have some posters. And finally, last but not least, kind of like an anticlimactic room, but we have the bathroom as well. So here's the thing, guys. I'm going to be insanely real with you. I would really love it if this video could do well. I want it to get a load of views. So instead of like saying, oh, please like the video, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could hit that like button. Honestly, it would help out so much. please leave a comment down below. It helps the algorithm. Literally feel free to just put "for the algorithm." Anything will absolutely do. I want this video to get loads of views. I spent a long time with this, and if you think I deserve it, yeah, please hit that like, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. I honestly would. And watch as much of the video as you possibly can. That also is one of the insane factors in whether or not this video goes out and whether people get to see it and watch it and recommend it. So sorry for being so blunt. I just really want this video to do well. But without any further ado, let's get started. This is the amount of space required to make the build a 34 by 48 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which I would always recommend making if you are planning out your world. It can only help. The item list for this video is absolutely insane, so I'm not going to put it on the screen. I am going to leave it down below in the description, so you'll be able to find it there if you do need it, if you're not in creative mode. Without any further ado, let's get started. So, step 1, if you have made the grid, come all the way over to the front left hand corner of it and count to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then inwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. So we're going to start off by placing 8 magenta extending up from this block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend to the right by 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We then want to, number 1, we want to join this down to the ground, but we actually need to do a couple of things with this 16th block. So we have to extend it backwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have to extend to the right by 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we want to join that 9th block down to the ground as well. But with this 14th block, or actually 16th block, we want to come all the way down to the ground where we place this row. We want to stick a magenta terracotta to the right of this, extend forwards by 3, so 1, 2, 3, and up by 3 as well, 1, 2, 3, right by 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should find that this joins then to the row that we placed earlier, and we can then join this down to the ground. So continuing on our journey of making the base structure of the house, we want to extend this block back here. So this is the 9th block that we placed a little bit earlier. We want to extend this backwards by 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, to which we then want to extend this block down to the ground. And then, now that we have this 14th block, we want to extend this 14th block across the back of the build by 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. To which we then want to join this 19th block down to the ground. You're seeing a theme here. And then we want to extend this row inwards by 2. 1, 2. And then we want to extend to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we want to join this 6th block, is that right here? This 6th block down to the ground. So extend right by 6, extend down, and then we can join all the way back to the front. So a little bit tricky, just a little bit tricky, but this is what we should have ended up with, which is a pretty cool frame. Honestly, the Simpsons house, very well thought out design. I really like it. So now that we have done this, we are going to start marking out key points on the house, basically windows and doors and stuff. So let's come all the way back to where we first started, because it just seems right. And we are going to take the very first block that we ever placed and extend it right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The significance of this is that the last 3 blocks want to have upside down spruce stairs in front of them. That's not quite right. So, they're not just upside down spruce stairs though. The thing is, they want to flare inwards on the left and right. So it's easier to actually like place that middle one and then create this shape. You can see the difference between just the solid row and the end ones that are like snapped into the actual house. And then we would want to place 2 rows of light blue glass on top. I'm specifically using block. Place spruce wood stairs on top of this, and then place sideways stairs left and right. Once again, we're looking for this effect. And above this, we actually want to have a set of windows, and it basically works like this. If you place magenta terracotta behind these stairs that we have here, add another row on top, and extend that row left and right by 1, so like this. So I've got a row of 5 in total. On the left and right sides, we want to place spruce wood planks extending up towards the top of the frame, with light blue stained glass pane in between. And there you go, that's as difficult as it gets for the front of the house. Everything else is rather easy. So that is what we want to have on the left side, and the same as well. So if you want to start off with, once again, we're on the right. Start off by placing 1, 2, 3, 4. And take not the last block, but the one before the last, and place an upside down stairs. Place upside down sideways stairs left and right. Place your 2 rows of light blue glass with a spruce wood stair on top of the middle. Flare it left and right inward so it gets that cool effect. Place magenta terracotta behind this. A row on top. Extend left and right, so we've got a row of 5 in total. Then spruce wood planks on the left and right extending upwards. Light blue glass pane in between, and there we go. That is looking pretty good, so, well, it's not looking great. It looks a little bit weird without the door and stuff, but you guys get the idea. So, the next thing that we have to do is we have to place the door. So, luckily for us, the door is right in the center of the window, so if you actually place a row of 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 terracotta extending inwards from both sides like this, the door will be placed, and I don't actually remember what floor I'm almost positive actually it is cyan concrete, but it doesn't matter. For the sake of this, just destroy that block underneath or don't even bother and place a door. So this is where the front door is going to go. And we want to place some magenta terracotta around the door. As a matter of fact, that's a little bit wrong. You want to place magenta terracotta on the left and right, and then a spruce wood plank above the door, and then planks left and right of the door in front of it to create a frame. Spruce wood stairs on top of this. We want a knocker above the door, so that's a tripwire hook. And then we're going to simply place a spruce wood slab above this, so you can see that is the effect that we're going with the door. So it's just kind of like a little bit 3D. It looks pretty good in my opinion. So we can then completely fill in the rest of this part of the front of the build. I would recommend doing it from the inside. So if you have a look at the inside, we obviously don't want to cover the windows, the bay windows. Windows are bay. So the bay windows here, we don't want to cover those up whatsoever because that would look a little bit strange from the outside and it would completely defeat the purpose, I would think, of having windows entirely. But this is what it looks like. It doesn't look too bad whatsoever. It's already looking pretty decent. Spruce wood stairs are going to go across the top of this, so this is kind of like the beginning of the roof line. And let's now work on the side here. So the inside of the house is tricky. So we're not going to try and place interior walls at all because we'll cover that in the next video. So we're going to just simply, you see this row here of magenta terracotta, we're going to extend this backwards. And once again, we're going to try as little as possible to crowd the inside of the house because we don't want to do that. So what I was going to do initially was, the reason that I mentioned this, I was going to connect these 2 rows of magenta together, but I think that it would actually hurt us in the long run, so. The top of this little area, though, is a little window. This actually leads into the bathroom. So we're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 glass here, just underneath the top of this part of the frame. We can, I'm pretty sure, add some terracotta like this. We can probably quite safely add 2 rows of terracotta, and then that should cover us for the actual garage. So, or garage. So we're going to fill the right side of the garage in using magenta terracotta. And we're also going to fill just this part in of the left side. Once again, trying not to make any walls. Although I think that one would be okay, but regardless. We're going to place, for the garage door, we're going to use, what is it? Pink terracotta. The terracottas always confuse me because they usually look nothing like the actual what they're supposed to. Like magenta, sort of. I'd call this pink. Like, this is pink. This I would call, like, I mean, it's sort of red. You could argue that it's pink, but with most of the terracottas, their counterparts don't look anything like them. So I always have to, like, if you see me, like, before I say, like, you need some pink terracotta, like, I always have to remind myself where it is with the little tooltip. So tripwire hook right in the middle of the garage, and we have to have a window. Now the window, I'm pretty sure, just goes right above the middle here. I don't think it's built up too much more. And we can place 2 magenta terracotta on the left and right, and a single magenta terracotta on top. The garage garage, we can actually do now. It's made out of spruce wood slabs. So the slabs extend from the left and right side. They will overhang by a row, and then they will slowly but surely infest the entire top of the garage. So if you extend them up and in, the natural stopping point, I'm sure that you guys figured it out already, is just above this window here. So there you go. Perfect. We nailed it with all of the terracotta. Extend back these solid blocks. So solid blocks meaning the spruce planks, where you can. Here, perfect. And here, there should be 2 of them on each side. So here, and the one in the middle, right? The one. No, no, it's not. It's a slab. So anyway, all of the rows of spruce planks, and then place these slabs in between. Always find it easier that way. You guys do what you like. So this will cover a little bit of the window, but it's perfectly fine. I don't really want people... By the way, the shower is literally like here. Like right behind this window, on the front of the house. It's not even like frosted glass or anything, so I don't think they'll mind the window being covered up a little bit, you know. On the right side of the build, we are going to just... all it is terracotta, essentially, from what I can tell. So all of this is just terracotta. There's also a little genel. I don't know if a lot of J words. So I don't know if... I don't know if that's the correct term, but it's basically a pathway that allows you to get into the back garden. So what we can also do whilst we are on this side of the house is, by the way, another roof line is going to be in front of this part of the house here, right? And another roof line will be on the back of the house, like this. Why is that relevant? You're probably wondering, like, why is he even telling me this? I don't care. Well, on the right side of the build, there's 2 parts of the roof. On the right side of the build, and you can imagine that the roof is going to extend up onto these terracottas, right? And then up and up and up and up. So we're going to simply make the side of the roof, which is made by placing ever-shortening rows of magenta terracotta until they eventually reach a point, which is going to be different from the opposite side of the house. As you might be able to see, it's slightly staggered. So this is the right side of the house. We're just going to leave it like that for now. And now I want to, the right side of the house as you're looking from the front, or the left side of the house as you look from the back perspective. So on the back of the house, we are going to start off with placing I'm talking slowly so I can figure this out. We're going to start from the bottom, and we're going to extend a row of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 magenta terracotta to the right. 2 rows of light blue glass pane on top of the last 2 blocks to make a little square window. On top of this glass, we want to place 1, 2, 3 terracotta, and then a row of 2 light blue glass going right, and then stack another row of glass on top of this. And to the right of this window, we want a row of 5 magenta terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 rows of glass. 1, 2. Add another row on top, like this. And then take the bottom right-hand corner of the glass and place a row of, 1, 2 magenta terracotta. and then 2 light blue glass, so that would be 1, and then that would be 2, and then extend to the right by 2, 1, 2, then add an extra row on top, just like this. Then we're going to fill the entire back of the house in. Well, not the entire back. We're going to fill this portion of the back of the house in using magenta terracotta, like this. Perfect. All in between the windows, the sides, all of that. All of this wants to be filled in using magenta terracotta. It doesn't really get too much more interesting in terms of like wall design and stuff. Like, there's not really much hanging off walls, and there's not really much pattern at all, like this. And then on the right side here, oh, first of all, we should extend this little part of the build backwards by a couple of rows just using the magenta terracotta, just like this. And then there's another door here, and once again, we don't have the cyan concrete, so we'll take the bottom here, we'll place magenta terracotta. This is where a door's going to be, so I'm just going to place the door. And then a row of, well, I guess it's 3 magenta terracotta. We want to create a frame around the door using this, and this conveniently allows us a space, and this is very window shaped, and we're going to place 2 rows of 2 light blue glass. And then we're going to fill the above part of this in using magenta terracotta, just like so. And then on this side of the build here, we are going to add a couple more windows and a chimney. So first of all, let's place the chimney, because that's what I have marked out on my little plans here. So we're going to go to the right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Extend outwards, extend to the right by 2, 1, 2, and then extend upwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to extend all of these rows up. And then these first 2 rows, we are going to extend upwards by a bit. By a bit, I mean like well above the house. So like this. This is the chimney. So I just want that marked out. The left side of the chimney, we actually have some windows. So if we start in the left corner here, we're going to place a magenta terracotta, 2 light blue glass pane, add a row on top, like this. Add a row of magenta terracotta on top of the light blue glass pane. Add a row of light blue glass pane on top. Extend left and right by 1. And then add an entire row on top of this. So, I mean, hopefully a bit more elegantly than I just did there. Perfect. And then on the inside... Wait, ooh. Here we go. So on the inside of this, we are going to place magenta terracotta, and we're just going to fill the entire wall in. As I said, apart from windows and, well, this chimney evidently, there's not too much detail built into the walls whatsoever, so it does make our job rather easy, if I do say so myself. So there we go, and if we have a look from the outside, most important part, here we go, because we're superficial, we care more about the outside, and I'm realising that this little window here should be 1 row higher. Okay, well, I'm going to knock out the bottom row of this window, add an extra row of magenta there, take out the top of the window, and then place light blue glass. And there we go, it's almost as if we never made a mistake. We never made a mistake, did we? No, of course we didn't. We wouldn't do that. So now that we have done that, we have to make the roof. So, this is where it is ever so slightly tricky. So, well, I guess it's not tricky, but okay. We want to place, let's see how this works. For the roof, this part, not that part. Obviously, we want to place rows of spruce wood stairs. But, we want to place magenta terracotta first of all to kind of create a pyramid shape like this. But you see, this roof is actually rather a little bit weird in that we've got to add an overhang. I'm pretty sure that we can just place this like little pyramid shape here and it will be just fine, but if not, we will have to alter it. So, oh, how funny is that? How funny is it that we extended the chimney up to where the top of the actual side of the roof is? That's actually crazy. I can't believe that that's worked out that way. What an insane coincidence. Well, let's raise the chimney up just an additional couple of rows. You may have noticed that there was a very obvious cut there. So, the reason for this is because we were about to get the roof wrong. Actually, I was about to get the roof wrong, and then you were because of me. So, what we actually want to do is once you've created that pyramid on the side of the house, we can augment that in a second. We want to take this row of spruce stairs that we have across the top of the back, across the back of the house, the top back of the house. That's a weird sentence to say. We want to extend the spruce stairs here, right? And then we are going to basically just create a little row of magenta terracotta, just like this, right? Like this, and we're going to make the apex of this side of the roof a little bit higher. So basically, now that we've got like this solid platform here, we have this set of stairs. The next set of stairs would go here, and then we are just going to alter the roof so that we just change the apex a little bit, because it kind of just throws things off. So here, perfect. So we've got a new height to the roof, and we will want to have the same thing over here as well. So you can just kind of like copy what you have on this side. So obviously, like, we need a solid wall for this part of the roof to connect onto. So this part of the house that comes out, like if you just place a row of magenta, and we have to create the same pyramid shape regardless, because again, we need something for the secondary part of the roof that's ever so slightly lower to connect onto. And it's very important that we get this right, because it will affect the overall look of the house. So like, this part of the house does distinctively want to be higher than this, and they do connect together, so you can see how that's going to look a lot better. So let's just do the little mini roof. I'm going to do the outside of it first. I want to do all of the spruce stairs. I want to extend them out like this, and the slab at the top, and I want to just place upside down stairs underneath them all. You guys know why. It's because it looks better. And just like this. And I think that with that done, then we can just focus on the larger one. And we were about to get that. I like to use we because it takes responsibility away from me. We, as a team, were about to get that wrong. So, yeah, and it wouldn't look quite right, because the way that we had it before was like the roofs, there was only a little slight difference, but with this we get that contrast which we need to have, and it just looks so much better. And well, they're upside down, so like this, we want to have this, then spruce wood slabs across the top. And this will join to, obviously, some stairs, you know? So here. And that's the thing, like, the back part of the roof's like, you can extend, like, long rows across. That did not keep going. You can extend long rows across like this. But the front of the roof, you know, that's where the difference lies, really. Like, and that's, you know, that's the more important side, I would say. Obviously, the presenting side of the house. So here, like, that's what makes the front of the house a bit more interesting, is the fact that there's different levels of the roof. So why am I talking so much about roofs, honestly? So here we go. So that's the little mini roof done just on the back here. And then we want to do, we might as well do this part as well. And I want to, again, I don't know why I like doing the edge of the roof before. Let's swap that to here. And then we'll, is there a block here? No, there we go, perfect. So it just kind of like blends in there. And let's get the edges done, because I find obviously that's the more difficult part, is the edge. And then you can just fill the middle in. There's not a little bit of detail on the roof as well. There's an antenna. There's the word right. Or an aerial, is it? An antenna? An aerial? Maybe they're interchangeable, I think is the word that I'm using. I feel as though that I'm having a brain malfunction. Although Ariel is also washing powder, and also the mermaid from The Little Mermaid. So maybe we'll go with antenna. So yeah, there's an antenna on the roof. We want to also, well, the chimney's actually probably at a decent height. We'll probably make it 2 rows higher than the roof, because of course, again, a little bit about contrast. So we'll make that just a tad little higher. I'm already breaking what I said that I wanted to do the sides of the roof first of all, and I'm already breaking that because I'm just doing these long sweeping rows across the roof. But I guess that we can do the sides. This will be the front part finished, and it should look pretty good. I always find that that the roofs, like once that's on, I don't know whether it's because I just build in that way and that it's the last thing I do, like it just seems to put like a nice real finish on it. So probably because, as I said, that's the last thing that I want to build, and when that's actually been done, then it's like, oh, so that the house is actually complete. Like I guess I wouldn't feel the like it wouldn't feel like such a completion if we like started with the roof and then the sides of the walls were all like empty and stuff, but I guess just the way it builds it just feels very satisfying is what I'm saying. Like when we finally get to this point, then we can take a look. There is stuff that we've got to do, but it's not really stuff to actually do with the actual physical house. We more so have to do things with just like decorating the outside a little bit. We're not going to do any of the outside in the next part of the build, so here I would recommend, by the way, knocking out these 2 rows of magenta. We placed those earlier as kind of just to show us where we had to place some magenta rows, but in actuality, I would just place them upside down stairs like this, and then magenta, hang on, it'll be easier from the inside, and then magenta on the inside here, and here, perfect, so there we go. That's looking pretty good. Nice. So it just looks a lot cleaner that way, instead of having all of those guiding rows. And we can extend... Do we extend the chimney out? No, we just leave it 2 rows. So just a couple of rows extending out of the top there. We've placed all of our tripwire hooks, which means that we can probably... let's just get rid of tripwire hooks first of all. Grab some iron bars. And there is as I keep saying, there's an antenna, we'll call it that. So this is actually placed, we want to leave a gap of 2 from the chimney. And then it's placed like on this sort of like top row here, not top row, but one below. And it's an iron bar, extend it up 1, like this. And then a row of iron bars like all the way around. So we want to turn it into this. And then have one stick out the top, and boom, perfect. You have your Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Very similar. So now that we've done that, we should really work on kind of, like I said, the outside-ish part of the house. So I want to make the drive. That's going to require smooth stone. I want to add some fence, so that's going to be spruce wood planks. We'll also need the magenta terracotta for this. I want to make the post box or the mailbox, whatever. So that's oak fence, shulker box, item frame, crimson fence. Oddly enough. And then we'll make the car and stuff. But the first 2 rows of the Simpsons house are going to be smooth stone. So when I say the first 2 rows, I mean the first 2 horizontal rows of the actual house. So these are just going to be two rows of smooth stone. It's just a sidewalk, a pavement. It should blend into your city or whatever, and it'll just into your suburbs more so. Like this is a suburban house. We also want to have a row of, it's quite a thick row of smooth stone that leads from the pavement into the garage. So, well, not into, actually, yeah, into the garage is actually quite accurate because the floor of the garage is smooth stone. So, all of this here, get all this destroyed, replace it using smooth stone. There's not, like, this is the only part of, like, adding all of this smooth stone is the only part of, like, mass terraforming that I'm going to leave in this tutorial. When we eventually get to the lime terracotta, I don't think I'm going to include that, but just because this requires a little bit more finesse than the lime terracotta placing that we'll be doing later, that we don't have on us, by the way. We'll just leave this in. So now that we have like a pavement and we have a driveway, we also have to, and we're missing a material actually, we also need to have a path that leads from the front of the house, or a path at the front of the house to the garage. So it's a row of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the front door. 3 rows fixed. So, by the way, if you accidentally chunk out some grass, it doesn't matter. So a row of 5. And the last 2 rows want to extend and connect to the driveway. And then we want to take the middle block here in the row of 3 and we want to shift this over as well. So all of this can be filled in using smooth stone, and it just kind of creates just a little bendy path just to the right. So the post box, mailbox, whatever. Not many people have these in Britain, I'm going to be honest with you. Most people just throw things through the door. There's not like an external mailbox. So we're going to, from the corner of the drive here, this corner area, move inwards diagonally, oak fence, shulker box on top. I don't know why I crouched for that. And then item frame to the side and a crimson fence in it. And you can flick that up or down. That's that little flag thing that that you often see on, like, in my head in like cartoon mailboxes. I'm also thinking that a red banner would actually work well for this. So it sort of depends. Will it? Well, okay. Well, let's just start over. So an item frame, yeah, that might work a little bit better. And then, like, isn't it supposed to like be up if there's actual mail in it, and it's like down if there's no mail? So I guess that you can have it either way. You could even physically place the fence on the side, but you know, whatever. So there we go, perfect. So we have to create some boundaries as well. On the left side of the grid that we still have, I'm going to place a row of spruce planks extending all the way across the side and then all the way across the back. So we're actually going to leave a gap of 1 here, and we're going to place a row of terracotta. So you guys can see the actual, like... Here we go. So you guys can see the fence line, and we're just going to add an extra row of terracotta and planks on top of each one of these. So there's a physical wall and there's a wooden fence that kind of combine together here, which is why it's two-tone. So, and they're about the same height from what I can tell as well. So we can just leave it as is. And then when it comes to the front of the house, we are missing but 2 things. Well, other than the grass, obviously. But we need leaves. That's 1. And we need a car. Yeah, we're going to be making the car. So, pink wall, pink carpet, black concrete, item frames, buttons, tripwire hook. We need glass pane. And we need a few more things, but we'll grab them in a bit. Little bit of leaves. Left and right of the door, and also just on the corner of the house. Pretty much sums up like the leaf pattern. As a matter of fact, I believe that there's like that leaf is shifted to the side, but again, we're going for a little bit of accuracy with this, so that's about what the leaves look like. They might also be under the windows as well, but you guys, well, I can't place them under the windows, so there we go. Next, the car. Pick a spot on the driveway, it doesn't really matter. I mean, closer to the garage door would probably make more sense, and about in the middle. I might offset it, so I might start it here, where the actual middle of the drive is. So maybe here, about here. Middle of the path, just where the middle of the drive is. So actually, that is actually perfectly dead center with the path and the garage door. So pink wall, extend to the right by 2. Place black concrete behind the left and right blocks, pink wall in between. 2 rows of pink behind the wheels, like this. Black concrete on the left and right. Pink wall in between. Pink wall behind. Perfect. So, we're going to place pink carpet on the front 2 rows of the car and across the back of the car. We're going to place pink wool on top of the wheels at the back, glass pane in between, and then glass pane extending forwards from these 2 pink walls, and they want to just join together. Pink wool in the center, and then we want to basically just place pink wool on top of all of the glass, and again on top of the center block, just to create kind of like, you know, the roof. So we want to use stone buttons or black buttons, but I actually like stone better rather than black stone on the sides of the wheels. Trip wire hooks where the doors would open, and 1 in the center of the back of the car for the boot. Item frames on the front 2 corners, on basically the front and back corners of the car, place item frames. Then we want to grab ladders, red concrete, block of iron. Red concrete where we have the item frames. Block of iron for the back item frames, and then block of iron for the front item frames. Ladder in the front, boom, there you have the Simpson mobile. So, what I wanted to do with this, by the way, is I wanted to have iron bars, and I wanted to make the antenna. However, I'm almost 100% certain that the antenna here is like, the antenna would have to be here. And the antenna is made out of iron bars. It grips onto the glass, and it also reveals the top of the wheel. So it's kind of a no-go. If you wanted to change it to here, then you absolutely could. Like, then you'd have the antenna. But also another issue is, like, for the antenna of the car, it's bulbous on top. So something that actually, like, this is the perfect shape, right? The lightning rod. Like, that's what the antenna would look like. But it's not the same color, so it doesn't look quite right. So, the antenna would kind of, like, make it perfect if you had a lightning rod that was the same color. But we kind of have to go without. But anyway, that's Homer Simpson's car, just about. So there we go. Like, that's pretty much the front of the house, right? I mean, that's pretty much it. There's not too much more to it. So we have to now come to the back of the house, and we are going to do what we can with the materials that we have, but we will have to have a little material swap in a little bit. So what do we want to do first of all? First of all, we have to, there's a little patio out back, so that's orange terracotta, and we need furnaces. After that, we're going to be making the sand pit, that's crimson slabs. We're going to be setting up the swing set, which is red concrete, and then I think that's kind of like where things end for these current materials, pretty much. So, outside of the back door and the width of this kind of like little concave part of the house, concave's the wrong word, I think, but whatever. We want to have 4 rows of orange terracotta that extend outwards that are the same width of this little, addition to the house, is what I'm trying to say. So we want to have orange terracotta in there. Looks pretty good. There's a barbecue. That's just going to be a furnace. Very simple. So we then want to mark out... Oh, there's also... I'll tell you what, we can add some leaves, though. There is some leaf pattern, and we can use the grey shulker boxes as well. So if we start all the way over here on the left, there is an oak leaf extending out the back corner of the house, a couple of shulker boxes, and then a load of leaves. Like, the leaves pretty much come all the way to the middle of the kitchen window. This is where the kitchen is. And then we extend these last 2 blocks out, and there you go. I mean, that's pretty much the hedge pattern for the back of the house. So, when it comes to the sand pit, we want to take this corner of the house here, and we want to find the 6th block extending out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, crimson slab. Extend forwards, 1, 2, 3. Extend left, 1, 2, 3. Extend in, to the right, boom, we've got a little pit. Grab the red concrete. From the left corner here, we want to extend 1, 2. And then left, 1, 2, 3. Red concrete. Extend up by 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to extend left by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then down to the ground. We can actually use iron bars as well. And we're going to place a couple of rows of iron bars extending from the kind of like inwardly placed. So like where we have the middle of the swing set, left and right of that basically is the entire deal there. There's really not too much more that we can do with our current materials. The only things that we could probably use are like item frames, but we'll just have to re-grab those. There's actually not much left. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to clear my inventory. I'm going to refine what we need, and I'll be back in just a moment once I've got all of that figured out. Back in a moment. Okay, I think I've figured it out. So, we need sand, warp trapdoors, light blue concrete, smooth quartz stairs, smooth quartz slabs, oak wood, ladders, oak signs, and spruce wood slabs. So, first of all, with the sand, it is... You guys... It's for the sand pit. Can you imagine that that's what we're going to be putting in the sand pit is sand? So, we're going to dig this out, place some sand in there. The warped trapdoors are a little harder to figure out, but basically they are for the seat of the swing set, because it's just a colour match. I mean, you could use any trapdoor, but it's just a colour match, and I mean, it looks a little bit weird, but hey, that's what the seat looks like. What do you want me to say? So, We have to also make a doghouse. If you come to the far end of the swing set, which is the last part that we made, who's to say what the far end is, but it's this side here, and we want to extend outwards by... one moment. Okay, so we want to extend outwards, and we want to find the 6th block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we want to count right 1. Place 3 light blue concrete. 1, 2, 3. Gap of 1. Another row of 3 parallel. Connect the back together. Add an extra block on the back. Place smooth quartz stairs on the left and right sides of this. Smooth quartz slab on top. Extend across. And there you have a very simple doghouse. You can even add an extra row of slabs underneath if you like, but that's basically for our old pal, Santa's little helper, who should rarely be in there, but you know that I've got to spawn him in and add a name tag, and you guys know I don't want to do that. So what we then have to do is we have to make the tree house, which is, again, relatively simple. It can, by the way, you can just kind of oh, I want it to go here, right in the middle of it. You can do that if you like, but the way that I've placed it is, once again, coming back to the swing set, this is our compass for the entire build. We want to extend out from this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then inwards 1, 2, 3. Place yourself an oak wood, extend left, add an extra row back. I'm going to shift that an extra row back as well, so it's going to be here, basically. And the oak woods that we've placed want to be... how many rows high? 5 rows high in total, so this would already be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can just do this with every single one here. We want a row of ladders up the front left side of the treehouse, with oak signs to the right of the ladders, like this. Perfect. As a matter of fact, we done a boo-boo, so knock out the top row of ladders and the signs, and we want to place a row of spruce slabs all the way around the top of this. And then add an extra row all the way around the top of it again. So we want to have something which should look like this. We want to be able to get into the treehouse, so we're just going to have to knock out a block here, and that's just perfect. The treehouse has... okay, so we actually need to just swap things out for the treehouse a little bit. So, for the treehouse, we'll need the spruce planks, oak leaves, cyan banners, and we'll just leave it at that for now. But there is I guess it's supposed to be a door, but I don't see how it's functional. But there's a big giant door on the front of the treehouse, which we're going to mark out with 2 cyan banners. It's kind of like 2 tattered drapes or towels or something. But anyway, that's what it is. There is also a window on the side of the treehouse. It's literally the middle side of the treehouse here. If we place 2 spruce planks here and then build up left and right of these by 2 rows, just like this, which is as high as the treehouse is, this is where there is a window. Across the back of the treehouse, we want to add 2 additional rows of spruce planks, and also across this side as well. We want to build up left and right of the cyan banners like this, and boom, there we have it. Okay, so it's up to you. If we want to, we can also add a top to the treehouse, so we can add a roof, or you can just have it be leaves. But I guess it's probably better that we make a shell for the treehouse like this. And then this is where things get not so tutorially, meaning we kind of just want to add leaves to the treehouse, right? I mean, it's not... I mean, if you want to start off with something a bit more formal, cover the entire tree, if you want, cover the entire treehouse with leaves. But there's also not leaves in some places. So above where we have this window here, we want to extend this out. We want to add an extra row of leaves to the top of this. A couple of rows here maybe. We just want to add leaves to the treehouse. Basically, okay. To say this in hopefully an understandable way, it wants to look natural. It wants to look normal. We don't want to have it wants to look like a regular old tree. So we want to place leaves in such a way that one might expect to see them on a tree. And that's exactly what we're going for. So however one wants to accomplish that, one being you want to do this. It just wants to look natural. That's all I'm going to say. There's not really anything else to say about it. I don't know why I'm trying to explain it. I don't know why I'm still talking now. I guess it's because I've got to, otherwise there will just be silence. But you guys get the idea. This might even look fine. I mean, that looks good enough. If we want, we can extend this out a little bit to create a little bit of contrast. What I mean by contrast, you'll see in a second. Hang on. So, there, something like this. Because then you can see that that side's a little bit thicker than that side. I don't know, it just seems to look a little bit better. We can have this hook underneath the window if we want. Maybe we could even have a little bit more plumage out of the back. Plumage. It's a bird. So, we just want to have something, you know, something like that. That looks a little bit better. But you can keep going and going and going and going. Going and going and going and going and going. I was just stalling for time to figure out how to do the inside of the treehouse. But you can keep going as much as you want until you're happy with the leaves. Let's go inside the treehouse now. So, for the inside of the treehouse, we need spruce wood stairs. We need flower pots, lantern, paintings, chest. We'll also need torches. We'll also... Did we already place the... Oh, no, we didn't. We need a spade as well, golden shovel, and lime terracotta. Oh, look at that. That is perfect. We have just enough inventory slots. So, inside of Bart's treehouse, there isn't much, but there's a little table. So that's going to be in the back right-hand corner. It's going to be made by 2 back-to-back upside-down spruce wood stairs. Flower pot to the side of the table. Painting on just above the table, because there's loads of posters and stuff, so we'll have more posters. I kind of want the creeper by the sea, is what I call it. So not that one, sort of, but not quite. Hang on. There we go. That's perfect. I didn't expect to get that. So throw a lantern in here, a couple of chests. We need a seat in here as well. It can be right up against the table, or you can leave a little gap, and that's all there is to it. Like, if you wanted to get a little bit more, you know, a little bit more meta, then we could place some comic books. Where are books? There we go. That's a quill. Certainly wouldn't be writing. So, here we go. If you wanted, you can put some, like, comic books and stuff, and, like, whatever other little Easter eggs one might think of as you were doing this, you know, feel free to add them, but that's pretty much the treehouse. There's not too much to it, genuinely. So, there we go. So, what else have we got to do after this? As I mentioned, I've got the, like, item frame and a shovel just to kind of further illustrate that this is a sand pit. We've also got to just 3 things. There is a torch. This is an outside light. This is above the space between the window and the door here. That's meant to be an outside light. That's all there is to it. If you wanted to, you could use, like, there's nothing to hang a lantern off, unfortunately, but you could, like, do this if you wanted to. I mean, that might look a little bit better. Up to you how you think. We need a tree. There is a tree in here. So this can be custom made using oak wood and oak leaves, but I'm lazy. And this is going to backfire. I can tell this already, by the way. Like, this is going to be the world's biggest tree. But we're looking for a small tree somewhere in the vicinity of this back corner of the yard. Doesn't matter. I mean, okay, that's not too bad. Okay, that's about the size. I would have liked it a bit smaller, but that's about the size of the tree. That's not too bad. Now, what do we do from here? Simple. Only one thing to do with the outside. We've got to rip up all the grass and replace it with terracotta. Now, is this necessary? You're probably wondering to yourselves. No, it is not. You don't have to at all, because, I mean, it's grass. Grass is grass is grass. I believe that somebody said that once, probably Queen Elizabeth or something. Anyway, so if you want, rip up the grass and replace it with lime terracotta. You might ask me, does it look better? Yes. Is it worth it? I don't know. Maybe. I think it looks better. It does take a long time, though. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to rip up all of this grass. I'm going to replace it with lime terracotta. It's not going to be fun. And I'll be back once that's done. And we will actually have completed the first part of this 2-part tutorial once that has been complete back in a moment. Okay, guys. So here's the thing. This is a little bit embarrassing. For this entire video, all the way up until this point, I thought that I was going to make a part 2 to this video, where we just did the entire inside, and it was just going to be 2 separate videos. That's not the case anymore. I put a poll out on the channel. It turns out that you guys would prefer just one really long video, or at least that's what you guys said. Well, I guess we'll find out. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to move on to the inside of the house right about now. So we're going to start off by using magenta terracotta, cyan concrete, white concrete, black concrete, light grey concrete, crimson stairs, crimson fence, and some spruce doors and some lanterns. Of course, we'll need all of that other stuff as well, but we're going to be cycling through materials so often in the house, guys. It's going to be an absolute mess. I think that I'm actually going to just put all of the materials in the description below in the video, rather than try and make a load of item lists, because I think it will just get a little bit crazy too quickly. So, anyway, we are inside the house now. What is the first thing that we have to do? Well, we want to take a look at the front door, move to the right of it, leave a gap of 1, and we want to place a row of 2 magenta terracotta, 1, 2, extending towards the back of the house. Leave a gap of 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then we want to place 1, 2, 3 magenta terracotta, once again moving towards the back of the house. So we want to leave a gap coming across. So, I mean, what we can actually do, by the way, but first of all, we want to leave a gap coming across to the right, and then we want to place a magenta terracotta. Stick 3 on top of it. 1, 2, 3. Now, this is actually going to be the stairs. So if we just mark this out with a crimson fence, and we extend that 1 row towards us, we actually then want to stick some magenta terracotta underneath. We want to extend this row, and then we want to add a row of 3 magenta terracotta in front of this, and then a row of 2, and then a row of 1, just like this. And, well, it's exactly like a staircase. That's the entire point of it. And if we just place some crimson fence on the outside of the stairs, you can see clearly where the stairs are going to be. There has to be, or is going to be, a door here. So that's why we left a little gap. So this is actually the kitchen floor. So there'll either be a white or a cyan, a white, or a black concrete here. So this is where a door is going to be. We can extend up these magenta terracottas here at least as high as the top of the stairs line, and then place a little bit of magenta terracotta above the door. So in addition to this, there is an archway that leads us into the front room. So if we raise up these 2 rows of terracotta here, the way that we make the archway is simple. We make sure we've got a gap of 2 on the left and right. We add an additional little terracotta on the left and right of that, just 1 row higher, and then we connect it together at the top, and then we want to have like 3 rows of 2 that we can easily pass through with just a little single block above us, and it's as easy as that. And this actually divides up quite nicely. So you see, this row here that we have like the door underneath, this also, if we extend this left, then this kind of like, this is the living room area, right? We even want an archway in the living room that takes us into the... Sorry, this isn't the living room. I don't know what you would call this room, to be honest. The lounge? The Simpsons have quite a big house. It's much bigger than mine. It's got way more rooms. So, I guess that one might call this the lounge. I don't quite know. The front room? Whatever. So, there's another archway in this wall here, and it's made the same way. So 3 rows of 2 with an additional row just above here. So basically there's like a sofa and a fireplace and a piano and just a couple of chairs. It's a chilled out room. So leading into what I would call a living room. So this is a living room because there's a sofa and a TV in here. We want to create, so the same row of magenta terracotta that we kind of like started extending, and then it kind of branched out into the staircase and into the living room. That same row wants to get extended backwards, and then this forms the living room. Let me see if I can find the door, where to put the door for the living room. So, 1, 2, 3. So it should be this 4th row. 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be here. So if you count from this back wall, it should be here, leaving just 1 little rose gap between this and the back door. So you can see how we're going to be moving through this space. In addition to this, we can create what I guess I'd call it the dining room. So you take the opposite side of the stairs here. Actually, it's not. Yeah, it is the dining room. Again, the Simpsons house is huge. So if you extend from the stairs here to the left, join to this row here where we have this window. And I want to make sure this is correct. I don't want to make any mistakes. That would be very, very embarrassing. So I don't want to make any mistakes here. And what we're going to do is... Yep, we are just going to raise up these rows right here, just so that they are about as high as the top of the stairs, because that's a nice, safe amount of area, basically, just to extend, just like this. And to make the rest of the living, or to make the rest of the dining room, so this is kind of like the dining room area. It's directly to the right as you walk into the Simpsons house. So there's a set of stairs. We've already made the staircase, so we just need to make the stairs. If we simply place some crimson stairs on the inside of the rows of terracotta that we just placed, and then we add a solid wall next to where we just placed these stairs, we simply just have to make just a little gap in this wall. So literally just a 1x2 here, and we'll want to do the same thing here as well. So basically just one row away from the wall here and here. This will allow us to get into the kitchen. This is the dining room, and well, as I mentioned, I guess I just dropped the ball. No, that's the wrong phrase. I dropped the hint. This is the kitchen, anyway, is what I'm trying to say. So this is the kitchen, and we want to, once again, be very careful that I actually get this correct. So we have to make it so that the door is actually here instead of here. So instead of there being one row's gap where this door is, the door is actually right next to the wall. So that's perfectly fine. Now, if we extend this wall this way, all the way to the back of the house, this will actually frame the kitchen nicely. So just to give you a bit of a layout, this is what things are looking like right now. However, the entrance into what I would call like the rest of the house, the back part of the house, this does leave just one row's gap here between the dining room, like between the dining room door, like we leave one row's gap here, and we actually want to place a row of magenta terracotta directly next to where we have this door, so just right here. It kind of wants to separate things. Now let's move through into this back part of the house, and we can make the hallway. So the hallway is going to be two rows thick in total. So it's going to be like, we have the entrance here, so place a terracotta here, leave a gap of 2, place a terracotta here. There we go. So this is how thick the hallway is going to be. And we just want to extend this left terracotta forwards by, we've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's going to be a door here. And then we want to place 1, 2 magenta terracotta just like this, and then there would be a door to the left here, and then 2 more magenta terracotta left, 1, 2, and then look back on ourselves, magenta terracotta, door here, this is opposite this door, and then magenta terracotta extending backwards. So this seems a little bit complicated, but it just looks like this. So what are all of these doors? Let me just extend up all of these magenta terracottas here. So just to actually like frame the hallway. And let me add in just another wall, and it'll help to kind of like illustrate what we're doing here. So this. So we need to add a wall in here. So this is inside of the garage, essentially the garage. It's inside of the garage. And we want to have something which should look like this. So obviously the kitchen and the dining room is behind us. This is the wall, this is the hall, and this is the garage. This is, I don't even know what this room is exactly. Like, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like another kind of like lounging room. And then this is where the basement would be. So we can actually fill this little area in here using magenta terracotta. I can't actually make the basement in this world. I think I'm going to find a way around it, because I can't go deep enough because it is a super flat world, but I think that we'll find some sort of way around it, don't worry. We'll see what we can do, but we'll do that later. So, okay, we have divided, and we'll just place a little terracotta here. So we've divided the house up nicely now. I think that it might be best for us to work on the house a little bit, work on the structure, and then we can start going room by room. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to floor the kitchen. The kitchen is, the kitchen floor is made out of, I would call it like tiles. It's kind of like that classic white and black tile that, you know, one might see in like a diner or something, or a bathroom, or a kitchen. I mean, all of them are kind of like interchangeable. And it's basically just it's a checkered pattern of black, and white, and that's all it is. So it's like that classic black and white tile. I always like this pattern in kitchens and stuff. Like, it just feels nice, it feels right, it feels homey and cozy. Homey. That is a horrible Marge impression. I won't be doing that again. And it hurts. Have you guys ever considered that the voice actor who like voices Marge Simpson must be in constant pain? It's a horrible voice. It really is. I never even realized, because that's always been the voice, but the voice just sounds so incredibly painful. She needs to see a doctor, honestly. But maybe not Dr. Nick. But anyway, we've just about finished flooring the kitchen. There we go. That's not too bad. So that really stands out, actually. There's also the garage, the car hole, as some would say. So here, we're going to rip up the entire floor, and I'm going to replace it using light grey concrete, because, well, it's a garage, obviously, like, the floor is stone. It doesn't seem to be floored in any other way in the show, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to be using light grey concrete, because it, I mean, obviously, we could use actual stone of some sort, but light grey concrete I just like. I like the texture of it. I like the colour. Why not use light grey concrete? Feel free to change it. Feel free to change anything. So, there we go. Perfect. So, those are kind of like the unique rooms. Once again, the basement we'll cover later. But we're going to be using cyan concrete for the entire rest of the floor. So, I mean, all of it, the rest of it. That's all there is to it. That's what's the majority of the... Unfortunately, you know, I did place all of these doors without replacing underneath them, so we're going to have to replace a few doors. But, yeah, the majority of the Simpsons house is cyan concrete as a floor material. That's mostly the carpet they've got down everywhere. Upstairs, it differs a little bit, because you've got a bathroom. Well, you've got a couple of bathrooms, actually. You've got, again, this house is massive. You've got an ensuite, and you also have an actual bathroom, and the hallway, the landing, whatever you would call it, the hallway upstairs, I suppose it is a hallway, it's not a landing, the hallway upstairs is brown carpet. I'm not sure if we're going to do that or if we're going to stick with cyan concrete. Reason being is because it just looks a little bit weird. We've not got a double floor, you see, or a double ceiling. Like, if we made this build one row taller and we installed, like, a double ceiling so you could have, like, a ceiling material and then a floor material above it, then that'd be fine. But we don't have that, so it does look better, because I have tried both. It does look better. Oh, there's an ever so slight detail that's bothering me. Okay, this is such a minor thing. So minor. There's a doormat for the Simpsons house. It's made using a green carpet. It goes in front of the door. That's it. That's what's been bothering me. That's all there is to it. So let's just grab that. Magenta terracotta. I'm going to replace underneath the actual front door as well with a spruce door. And there we go. I should probably... That's how I'm going to get back in. So, here we go. Yeah, that's been bothering me for so long. I don't know. I've only just now thought about actually doing it. So, yeah, we'll get all of this ripped up. I'm almost certain... I mean, we might even use just cyan concrete for the entire second floor, right? Because it's a good floor material anyway, and I just don't want to be in, because, like, for instance, the ensuite is about here. This is the living room, right? I don't want there to be two different floors above it. It's distracting. It's a little bit weird. I think it's just literally better for us to just place the cyan concrete. It'll just look better. It really will. I think that we've done the majority of downstairs now, or at least in terms of the floor, obviously. Got to do it underneath the back door as well. Why did I place all of these doors? Big mistake. So, let's do that now. So here, we'll leave that open. We live in a good neighborhood. I don't think that anybody's going to invade. Although there is a rogue sheep on the run, so I should probably be a little bit careful. So, yes, this is the entire downstairs, I think, completely floored. Very, very happy with that. So, we have these stairs installed here, don't we? Behind the stair would be this top stair, would be a cyan concrete. I want to make sure that, again, I've got to make sure that I get the floor plan right, the layout right, otherwise the entire build kind of comes crumbling down. But what I know what we can do is that right next to the set of stairs here where we have this wall, we can extend this wall upwards. So this wall here can extend all the way up to the top of the build, but we'll probably be installing a ceiling somewhere, so it doesn't have to go all the way up to the top, literally. As a matter of fact, the ceiling line, I can say with utmost certainty, will pretty much be here. Whatever I do, I'll probably make the ceiling itself out of magenta terracotta. So the ceiling line will be pretty much where the actual roof starts, because we don't want to get those blocks of the roof, and it gives us a good amount of space because of the floor lines here. We've got 4 rows, I do believe. Yeah, right, 4 rows, just to kind of like place details. Anyway, I do digress. Yeah, let's install. Okay, so the floor, let's do it. So the floor, obviously, is where the top of the stairs is, right? So this is where the floor would go, and we can just flare this fence to the left or right, depending upon how you're looking at it. So let's put the floor in. It'll make things a lot easier, I think. It'll definitely stop muddying the kind of like, because we're kind of like blurring the lines between like what above and below, like the first floor and the second floor. So I think it will just be a little bit easier. We've got to place a lot of stuff as well. We'll probably have to knock out some of the magenta terracotta too, just to make sure that everything looks nice. But here, oh, okay. So obviously I've been talking about like, oh, we've got to like floor everywhere. We're going to leave the hallway alone, like the foyer, I guess you might call it, but I don't know if foyers are meant to be like big houses, but I guess, like, you know, the entrance area. We're not going to floor that area because it has to be quite high anyway. Like, you don't want a floor in because we've got the staircase and it'd make things a little bit tricky. And that's not how it's laid out anyway. So inside of the garage, again, we're getting a little bit weird here, but we'll probably just like make the inside the garage, because we can always give it a false ceiling as well, like we can reduce the height, because we don't need a lot of airspace inside the garage. But we'll just, for now, we will make it cyan concrete, like the floor. Hang on, I can get back. Okay, good. So here, and then here. I mean, like there's certain parts of the house where you're just gonna want. We'll just have to take things as they come, I think, like, in terms of, like, detailing this place. Like, I think that for certain parts, like, we're just going to have to, like, refloor certain parts, and we'll just have to change the structure a little bit, just as we continue. But this is what upstairs looks like at the moment, so I'm quite happy with this. The Simpsons margin homers, the Simpsons' actual main bedroom is, like, you come up the stairs, and it's immediately to the left. So you can actually, you can pretty much just make it by placing just a row of terracotta. 4 rows of terracotta should suffice, because then we can add the ceiling line. Yeah, see? There we go. And the entrance into said bedroom, I do want to say, before I do make this, I'm pretty sure it is literally like I've made it so that it's just to the left. There is a hallway that runs through the entire, like, second floor of the house, of course. And I've got so many pictures and stuff. I've made the plans for this, like, they're so extensive that it's hard to find what I'm looking for. So I'm sorry, but do bear with me. Like, this is a very, you know, it's a big and intricate build. So let's cover here. So, like, we're at the top of the stairs, we want to go right, and we want to start off by placing a row of... We want a row of 4 terracotta moving across. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's going to be a door here. We then want to place a row of 6 terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to move across to the left by 1. Door. Magenta terracotta here. And then we're going to move the magenta terracotta backwards. And we're also going to, I believe, move it to the left. And we're also going to extend it forwards by, I want to say by 2. 1, 2. Then spruce door. and then another row of 2, 1, 2, and then spruce door. And then we're going to essentially just run a row of magenta terracotta all the way to Marge and Homer's bedroom. So, okay, so let's kind of like take it in the way that we've made it. So this is Maggie's room. I'm pretty sure that we can just place a row of magenta terracotta here that kind of like separates this into one foot. Like this is the room, this is the structure of it. And we can just place some magenta terracotta. Again, if you do a row of 4, maybe even a row of 5, that 5th row is going to be like the top. Then this kind of like, this is where the room is. So this is the shape of the room. It is just a rectangle. I mean, all that's in here is, I think that it's a crib. I was going to say a cot, but I think that's different. There's a crib and a chair and a couple of other things. Opposite here is Lisa's room. So Lisa's room, I'm pretty sure that we can quite happily just right next to the door, we can add like a row of magenta terracotta to kind of cut things up. And then here, she's actually got a decent sized room. I think it's ever so slightly bigger than Bart's. So here, and again we can add the roof line in. Marge and Homer, of course, have the largest room. Not just, well, they wouldn't have like the largest room, except for the fact that they've got an ensuite as well, so it kind of like makes it the biggest. So as we move up further up the hall here, this is Bart's room. Now Bart's room, we probably don't need this wall here, and if we just do, actually, yeah, let's bring it up now. No, we won't. We won't start like making the rooms too specifics. We'll kind of just go like we'll go with kind of like a general shape. So this is about how big the room is. We have to add a closet and stuff, which is what I was contemplating doing, but we'll do that in a little bit. So here, let's get the roof taken care of for Bart's room. And then finally, this is the bathroom. Now with the bathroom, we might extend this a little bit, but for now, because I'm pretty sure that the bathroom is more than 3 rows, but yes, the bathroom is actually 4 rows. So what we might do is we might just bring this door here just 1 row forward. It's 4 rows in total. We'll bring that door 1 row forwards, because it doesn't matter, and we'll cut this area off here, because you just need 4 rows for the bathroom. And we'll cut this area off here, and then this is like, I mean, this is just dead space. So this is why things are tricky, by the way. Like, there's nothing here, and it doesn't fit the shape of the room. This is why I usually stay away from doing inside of cartoon houses and stuff, because they don't always make sense necessarily. Or at least it doesn't always make sense to portray into Minecraft. It might make sense in the show, but like, it just seems to me that there's some dead space there. Because it doesn't really match the... I mean, maybe you'd need to see the floor plan for yourselves to kind of like see what I'm talking about, but it doesn't really match the floor plan. Like, it doesn't seem like it should be there, that empty space. Anyway, we're going to also fill in the hallway ceiling as well, and we should, at this point, here we go. We should have a mostly like functional, like this is mostly a house. Like we've not got anything on the inside of it, but this is like mostly a house at this point, right? Like we're all divided into rooms. Pretty happy with it. Very, very happy. This is the basement. I wouldn't walk through that door. I might put a sign, but this is the garage. Very, very happy with this. So, in doing all of this, I'm going to come all the way back to the start. What we're now going to do is we're going to systematically, and not necessarily in a particular order, we're going to systematically work through the house and detail it now. So, first of all, in the hallway, what do we need? We're going to need an armor stand, lanterns, item frame, clocks, paintings. That's kind of all we need. Next to the front door on the left, I'm going to stick an armor stand. On these stairs, I'm going to stick a lantern, just on the middle. The stairs have I think there's a word for it, but maybe not. There's a set of paintings, pictures. They're just little 1x1s. I think they're of the family. So just a set of 1x1s kind of like running up the stairs. Looks very good. There's a clock on this wall. Well, it's not actually. It's a big clock. I think it's a grandfather clock, or whatever it's called. And it's a big freestanding clock, but there's not room for it. So all we're going to do is an item frame with a clock in it here, just to signify that we know what's supposed to be here. This is pretty much all there is to it. There's not too much more to this hallway. So we are going to move into the living room now. And we are going to see what we have in terms of decorating the living room. So, for the living room, I think we have most of what we need. We need the looms. We need crimson slabs. We need spruce trapdoors. We need brick slabs. We need paintings. Spruce stairs. Lanterns. We need warped planks. We will also need orange concrete. So, in this corner here, to the left, we'll need something else as well. We want to place a couple of looms, crimson slabs in front, spruce trapdoors above. This is supposed to be a piano. We have limited space, okay? So that's our piano. We need the terracotta back out again because there is a chimney breast. So we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3 magenta terracotta extending out from the wall. In front of the magenta terracotta, we want to place a row of 3 brick slabs on the left, extend the top over by 2, join down. Boom. There wants to be a 1x1 painting above the middle of the fireplace. We can even add something like block of coal to the bottom of the fireplace to further signify what this is. In this corner here, there is meant to be a chair. So that's going to be a warped stairs. And a couple of spruce trapdoors here to act as shelves. This is a good opportunity to place a lantern as well. Facing this, like opposite this wall, it's kind of just like a little desk. So I'm going to take this opportunity to place a warp plank, lantern on it, with a chair against it. There's a small sofa in here. It's 1 row away from the fireplace. Going to use spruce stairs for this. Right in the middle, leave a gap of 1, and then on the sides, we're going to place sideways facing spruce wood stairs. In the corner here, I'm going to place an orange concrete, and on top of this, an item frame. This is a table with a bowl on it, I do want to say. A lot of painting on the wall here, and we're pretty much done. This is again, I'm not sure what to call this room in particular. Like, usually this is where a living room would be. I guess it's kind of a lounge, I guess you might call this. So, let's move into the actual living room, or what I would call the living room. And we can detail it as much as we can, although we don't have everything we need. So, we're going to begin with the end rods, orange glazed terracotta, acacia stairs, acacia sign, painting, terracotta itself, and this is where we run out of materials, but we'll go as far as we can. So 2 end rods on top of each other in this corner, connecting together to the lounge, with an orange glazed terracotta will make us a lamp. Leave a gap of 1, actually a gap of 2. Yeah, is it a gap of 1 or is it a gap of 2? Let's leave a gap of 1, and then we'll place 2 acacia wood stairs, and then acacia signs on the ends of each of the stair. Above this, we want a 1x2 painting. This is a painting of a ship, so I think it's appropriate that we can't get like the beach painting, and then it just sort of makes sense. In this corner is a flower pot. We need a terracotta for this, and then we need lots more stuff. So, I'm going to clear out all of this inventory, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be needing loads and loads and loads and loads of stuff. We might be grabbing repeat materials. We'll be doing this throughout the entire detailing process. I'll be back once I have got what I need, or what I think I need. More importantly, what I think I need. Okay, I think I've figured out what we need for the next 1.5 rooms. We need so many materials. So, we're going to start off with the flower pots, ferns, purple concrete, black concrete levers, note block, item frame, music discs, and stone buttons. So first of all, this terracotta here wants to have a plant on it. So that's a pot with a fern on it. On the wrong part of my plans. Leave a gap of 1 and place 2 purple concrete. And then 2 black concrete on top. And then levers on top of this, either side, to give like the little rabbit ears, the old-fashioned Simpsons TV. Then we want to leave a gap of 2, so basically just this window alone. So across this back wall, we want to place note block, purple concrete, note block, Item frame on top of the purple concrete, music disc inside, button in front. And we just want to place some purple carpet on top of the note blocks. And this just looks like the music system that the Simpsons have. There isn't too much more inside this room. Like, there's something on the wall here. It's like a potted plant of some sort that's impossible to, like, recreate, really. But most of the detail is here. So, we're now going to move into the kitchen. And we have a fairly decent-sized area to fill in here. So, let's just scroll down. First of all, we are going to grab the orange concrete, light blue shulker box. We'll need cauldron, green concrete. We'll need the magenta shulker boxes, cyan concrete, and some yellow banners. And we'll just leave it at that for now. Oh, actually, did I grab the light grey concrete? And we also need the warped buttons. So, directly next to the door here, in this like 3-block area, we want to have a row of orange concrete. On top of the first 2 blocks, light grey concrete. In front of the right block, warped buttons. Across this back wall, we want to have light blue shulker box, 3 orange concrete, 1, 2, 3. Cauldron, green concrete, 2 orange concrete. Across this back wall, 3 orange concrete, 1, 2, 3. 2 green concrete, extend upwards, like this. So, we've got a set of counters, a set of units, we've got a fridge, we've got a sink, believe it or not, we've got an oven. We've just got to apply the details. So, there is pretty much cupboards above all of this. Everywhere that isn't window, we want to apply the magenta shulker boxes. Where we have the windows, yellow banners on the left and right. And I want to just place warped buttons sparingly. I mean, pretty much like where we have these orange concretes here just like the front row, like the window area. Let's place some warped buttons. The cyan concrete is for a kitchen table. So the kitchen table is where we have these 2 like orange concretes that are closest to the cauldron. We want to leave a gap of 2, so a gap of 2, and then a 2x2 square of cyan concrete. Let's clear out a little bit. So we want the acacia wood stairs, we want item frames, stone pressure plate, leather, we want rails, lanterns, we want the light blue glass, we want the talking slow to save time. We need the flower parts and paintings. Okay, so item frames want to go here in front of this light grey concrete, here in front of the shulker box, and here in front of the green concrete. On top of the green concrete, a rail with a light blue glass inside the item frame. Next to the sink, a lever with a stone pressure plate. This can just be left alone, but the light grey area, we want to have another glass inside of the light grey, inside the item frame in front of the light grey, is what I'm trying to say. So hard. And then a set of 4 chairs around the kitchen table. If you place them kind of like staggered like this, it looks pretty good. I've actually done that wrong, so that would go here, that would go here, and then that would go there. So if you place them a little staggered, it fills the room up a little bit more. There's a couple of cheeky places to place lanterns. Next to the microwave here, and in this corner here. Well, that one's not cheeky, but the microwave one is, because it's kind of like hidden away. I want to have a painting here. I think it's meant to be a calendar or something, but I'm going to place a couple of flower pots in front of it to orchestrate, or act as mugs, I should say. You can have the same thing on the table if you like. You can have like a mug and a couple of plates if you want to decorate the area a little bit. I believe that we have iron bars. I know that we're going to need iron bars and the spruce. So we need iron bars to act as a door handle for the fridge. And then this back wall is also decorated as well. And also here too. So there's a few things we need to do. So we're going to use a couple of spruce trapdoors here to create shelves next to the entrance. We also need orange concrete, buttons for this next part. We need item frame. Where'd the item frame go? So we need item frames. And, oh, it's not actually stone buttons. It's, we need warped buttons. But to finish off this entire room, which, I mean, we might as well do, we need a clock. And we also need light blue banners. And that's it, actually. There is a lot of there's a lot of stuff going on in the kitchen. It's one of the more densely populated rooms. So if we leave a gap of 1 between these shelves and place a row of 2x3 orange concretes, warped buttons on the bottom with light blue banners on the top, it's meant to kind of just be a glass cabinet. On this wall here to the right, we need an item frame with a clock in it, and that is, well, it's a clock. There we go. The kitchen's one of my favourite rooms, by the way. I think it just feels nice in here. It feels homey. Homey. Every time I say that. That was better. That was better. Still horrible, though. There we go. We can place a lantern or so. If you want to, feel free to torch the place up. Not literally torch it, but, you know, add some torches to the place if you like. So the next thing that we're going to do, I think, is we are going to work our way into the dining room. Just seems like a good place to start. And we're just going to clear out some materials, but let's just grab as much stuff as we possibly can again to work our way through the rooms. We're making some good progress. We don't need too much stuff in there. Okay, so we're going to grab the scaffolding, white carpet, acacia wood stairs, paintings, purple concrete, buttons, light blue banner, flower pots, and item frames. Getting a lot of repeat business here, but unfortunately, you know, it's just the way it's got to be. If we don't go room by room and just keep grabbing materials, we'll just be jumping around the house like lunatics, like placing, trying to figure out what we can get the most out of the materials. I think it's better to just keep re-grabbing them than you know, the alternative. So we're in the dining room. We have to place the table first of all. So the table is in the back corner of the room here. Extend outwards diagonally and place a row of 3 scaffolding extending forwards. White carpet on the scaffolding. We want to place chairs surrounding the table. It doesn't really matter what configuration you place this. I'm placing quite a few chairs at the table. Like, you can pretty much, like, except for the end chairs, you can split them up like with 1 block gaps. So there wants to be a painting on this wall. It's going to be just above where the chair is. This one will do. That'll do just nicely. There is a unit in the dining room. The unit is 1 row away from the front wall of the house, so leave a gap of 1, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 purple concretes. Stone buttons in the middle of the unit with light blue banners on the ends, and then we want to have a flower pot on the left side of the unit, item frames on the right, and we want to have a 2x2 painting above. Doesn't really matter which one, that ugly one will do. We want to place green carpet on the inside of the bay window. I think you can actually sit in the window in the Simpsons universe. Sit in the window if you like. This is also present, by the way, in the living room. So that's something that I actually forgot. So we want the same thing in the living room too. Or, again, I'm going to call this a lounge. I don't know what the official term for that room is, but I'm going to call it a lounge. That's the dining room, ladies and gentlemen. Not too complicated. So now we are going to head through the house as we quickly kind of like approach the end here. We're going to move through the house and we're looking for... Don't even... I have no idea. What would you even call this room? I don't think this room even has a name. It's the room with no name. That's what we'll call it. So in the room with no name, we need to shorten the room, number 1, with some magenta terracotta. We need to place some purple banners as kind of like unit. There's a lot of storage. It's a weird room. We need green carpet. We need orange concrete. We need warped buttons. Light blue banner. We need some orange wool. We even need some spruce planks. So first of all, let's shorten the room. The room wants to have 2 rows either side of each window, and that's it. We're shortening it otherwise. So we essentially want to knock 2 rows off of the left side so that it's a bit smaller here. We want to also make it so that there is a build-up of magenta terracotta on the far wall here. So what that will allow us to then do is place some green carpet in front of this window. And we want to place a load of purple banners on the left and right sides of the window, but not in front of it. And that is meant to act as again, it's like some sort of storage. It also has like buttons and stuff to like as drawer opens it, but I mean, there's no real way to do it except maybe like item frames with say, like I don't want to grab it just yet, but item oh, I actually have it. Hang on. So this might work. Item frames with got to make sure to get the buttons. Yeah, item frames with like cyan concrete in them would actually be a good alternative. And every single time that the banners actually sweep forwards, you'll get that effect. So that's not too bad. Okay, what else is in this room? There is let's grab what we need. So warped stairs, painting again. Where is it? There we go. We need the orange concrete. We need warped buttons, the light blue banners. We need orange wool. We need spruce planks. We need oak buttons. We need the scaffolding once more. In the corner of the room, just as you enter left, we have like a unit. It's 3 rows high. It has 2 light blue banners at the top, and it has warp buttons at the bottom. Very, very reminiscent of the unit that we have in the kitchen. To the right of this, we want to have a chair. And on this wall, we want to have a painting. So the painting's pretty much just like above and behind the chair, essentially. It's just a 1x1. There's also a beanbag, so that's pretty much placed directly next to the door, and that's made out of orange wool. There's a small table, that's going to be a spruce plank with an oak button in it. And left of the table, leaving a gap of 1, a couple of scaffoldings with black concrete on top, with levers will give you the good old rabbit ear TV. We don't have lanterns on us, but I think I'm going to grab it. Oh, we couldn't do all of the lighting at the end as well, by the way. But, you know, just 1 lantern, or maybe even 2, just stick 1 here, goes a long way in this room. The room with no name. So that's the room with no name. Maybe we'll even place 1 here just to keep things bright. Maybe even 1 here. Because I don't want this being too dark. Like, it is kind of like a darkish sort of house at the moment. That's not by design, it just sort of is. So, it'd benefit us just to add some light to the place to make it feel a bit homier. Homey. No, that was the worst one yet. Homey. Better. That is what Marge's voice like. I still can't believe it as I'm hearing it. Anyway, so, let's add a light in here. This is the garage. In the garage, we need to grab... What do we need? We need brown shulker boxes, first of all. We need the light grey concrete iron bars. We need a button, stone buttons. We need the spruce planks. Can even grab some oak buttons, spruce trap doors, cauldron, warped... No, not warped planks. We want the cyan concrete. So in here, in this corner... the right corner as you enter. We might even drag this row across, by the way. Yeah, let's do that. So, what is the... I can grab like grey concrete from anywhere. So, no, I can't. Hang on. There we go. Yes, so that... okay, so I'm gonna smooth this wall out here, right? With the magenta terracotta. Grab the light grey concrete. Actually, re-grab the lantern. My bad. And then, because we need to add a bit of light to this room, it's a bit too dark. So maybe just 1 here in this corner will do. And in this corner here, we want to have... Re-grab that. So in this corner here, we want to have a brown shulker box. Above and to the right, light grey concrete, iron bar on top, button. I think this is either the... It's either the breaker for the, like, the electric, or it's for the garage door. I'm not quite sure which it is, or it's an individual. Regardless, it's there. So in the corner here next to the door, 2 brown shulker boxes on top of each other. Take the bottom one, extend to the right with 2 spruce wood planks to the right of that. Throw some buttons in front, and behind this is kind of like one of those boards where you can store a load of tools. So I figured just some spruce trapdoors kind of like put up against this. Oak trapdoors would work well for it as well because it kind of looks like it's got little holes. So that might even be a little bit better. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, it's one of those boards where you can like put nails in it and stuff, and you can like suspend tools from it. So that's what this is. It's probably better suited with oak trapdoors, to be honest. Leave a gap of 1, place a cauldron. Leave a gap of 1, place a set of 2x3 cyan concrete. This is like a It's like a metal cabinet with stone buttons in front. Boom, there you go. Garage, garage, easy. Car hole's done. So now that we've done that, this is the cellar. So, again, for those of you that are in a super flat world like me, a standard one, probably won't be able to do the cellar, but we will try our best. Can we replace the bedrock? We can replace the bedrock, so we might, because there isn't just enough room, we might be able to do something, but we'll actually leave that until the end of the video, because if not, I do have a workaround for those of you that aren't silly like me and, you know, those of you that have a better super flat world that has more layers. This is an old world, there's no changing it now. So, this is pretty much the entire downstairs done, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very happy with this so far. Feels nice, feels... I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to say it again. So we're going to come upstairs now. We've got all of this landing done, all of that. So, well, this would be the landing. Technically, would it? I guess this is where you land. I don't know. Anyway, we're at the top of the stairs, and there's not much that we can do here with the current materials, but we can grab ourselves the warped planks. We can grab ourselves the magenta flower pots, and in this corner right here... Oh, and also the painting. So, just at the top of the stairs, just like here, right here, warped plank, flower pot on top. We'll have a plant in there. It's actually a red one, I think. There's a painting above it. That can be anything. And I think that we can even stick a warped button in front too. Oh, something that we can do, because we have these spruce trapdoors. You can get into the Simpsons have a loft, of course. I mean, if you guys have watched Treehouse of Horror, I mean, that's where evil Bart is, or perhaps good Bart is stored. I'll say stored because they treat him like, you know, like an animal. But we're going to place a couple of spruce trapdoors here. We're not actually going to make it so that we can get into the loft. But, I mean, we could if we wanted to. There's more than enough space up there. I can almost guarantee it. Yeah, because, I mean, it's a pretty boring room. Like, it's just a load of junk, kind of like up here. So, you know, it's up to you whether or not you want to add that detail for yourself. But you could give yourself the option if you did so choose. So, now that we've kind of, like, done this, we'll come back to that. We're going to come into the Simpsons bedroom. And what we will do in here, because we do have some stuff that we can use, so we should make use of, we shouldn't be frivolous with our materials. So, let's do this. So the bathroom for the Simpsons, as we enter this door, right? As we come in this door, to the right, leave a gap of 1. Boom, here. This is the bathroom line. So just right next to this window, we want to build up a row of magenta terracotta. And I guess we've not done the ceiling for the bathroom area, but we should do that just to kind of like close things off a bit. Plus, it'll help because Marge and Homer have a load of stuff in their bedroom that's going to hit ceiling height, I do believe, or close to it. I think I'm actually wrong about that completely, but it doesn't matter. So here we go, kind of like section this off. Want to be able to get into the bathroom. That's going to be on the far left here, so we just want to be able to walk straight in. Perfect. We have purple concrete, and we have warped buttons, which we need. So there's a unit across the back of the room here. It's 3 rows wide, 1, 2, 3, and about 3 rows high. 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking, like, it's supposed to... grab light blue banners, grab item frames, and also we've got the cyan concrete as well. I want to place warped buttons on the left and right, and I want to place light blue banners on the upper left and right. Item frames, cyan concrete, and it's basically just like, I think it's a wardrobe or something like that, so... I actually think that the entrance to the bathroom is actually to the right. It's like to the left. There's like a gap of 1 between the walls, so we'll do that. We have to replace this part of the floor here using cyan concrete. I hope nothing was suspended there. I don't think it was. Same thing here. We want to have cyan concrete. Just makes it a little bit nicer. In this room, there is a little bit of detail that we can actually accomplish. So let's grab quite a bit actually. So we can grab cauldrons. We'll use cyan concrete. We need warped stairs. We do have a lot of stuff, actually. Light blue banners. We need the flower parts. We need buttons. Oak buttons will do just fine. We need item frame. We don't have item frame, so we'll have to skip that part for now. Orange wall, lanterns. Okay, so let's start with the cyan concrete. We have the window. The 2 right blocks of the glass part of the window, we want to place some cyan concrete. Actually, I don't want cyan. Guys, I want light blue concrete, okay? I want there to be a contrast. So let's grab light blue concrete. There we go. Light blue concrete instead, right? We want to... And I want acacia button. You see, this is why I prefer to, like, just grab everything that I think we're going to need. Because I'm a little bit picky. So, acacia buttons in front of this. In the corner here would be a chair, but to the left of this, we want to have another light blue concrete, 2 upside down warp stairs, light blue concrete, and then a bin. You can either use a cauldron for this, or you can use a flower pot on the floor because it looks like a waste basket. Couple of light blue banners above the upside down stairs. This is a dressing table, and we want a flower pot and a lantern on the ends. Acacia buttons in front of the concrete, and then opposite where we have the dressing table, 2 orange wool against this wall, and we're going to extend it forwards like this, so it wants to be 3 rows long. On the left and right of the... Or do we want to actually extend this? Do we want to extend all of this 2 rows? Actually, yeah, my bad. Okay. This sucks a little bit, but okay. So we're just going to shift everything 1 row across. My bad, guys. My bad. You know, I feel bad about it. Not too bad, but I do feel a little bit bad about it. We're just going to shift everything 1 row over, because it will just be a little bit better. So here, boom, boom. There we go. It's not too bad. And then against this wall, then we've got the bed, like, opposite this. And then we can have bedside tables on the left and right. You can even place, like... we need to place some acacia buttons here. But another alternative is to place some banners, because it is kind of like just 2 drawers. And it sort of looks like drawers. A couple of lanterns either side. These are lamps. An alternative to this is... I mean, this is kind of like a difficult thing to get. But you can use like this as... so dragon eggs. As like, because we're looking for lamps, right? So dragon eggs and like honeycomb. This might be so ugly. So a couple of dragon eggs, honeycomb on top, just some lamps. Bit disgusting, to be honest with you. I'm not too happy with the honeycomb, so we might have to. My bad. Anyone that likes honeycomb, I'm sorry, but maybe some orange glazed terracotta look a little bit better. Lanterns are also a perfectly viable alternative. We need painting. We also need a little bit of white wool. By the way, after we've done this part of the bedroom, we're never grabbing materials like this again. We need the paintings. We need a little bit of white wool. We need a 2x1 or a 1x2 painting just above this. That's fine, I guess. This is unit. As I mentioned, there's a chair in here. We might as well complete this now. We're almost done. So we need the purple stairs, because that's the colour of the chair just in the corner here. We need item frames. Did we grab them? Yes, we did. We need item frames. Such an inefficient way. So here, that's going to go there. I mean, we can have a pot instead of a lantern, and we can place like even pots here. There's not too much more to this room. We've actually done it, thank goodness. And this is the main bedroom. This is the master bedroom. It's not looking too bad. So let's head into the little ensuite here. I'm going to dump out all the materials. I'm going to grab what I think we need, because we can't do that again. Okay, so for the ensuite, we're going to begin by grabbing cauldrons, tripwire hooks, paintings, light blue concrete, buttons, specifically stone, light blue banners, crimson slabs, flower pots, and some orange banners. So what is the first thing that we're going to be doing in here? So let's grab the cauldrons and place 1 in the far left corner, like as you walk into the back left corner, and 1 in the right corner, like just to the right. I'm going to place a tripwire hook above the first cauldron, light blue concrete to the right, button in front, light blue banner above this. This is like a little mirror. Orange banner to the right, that's a towel. Leave half a gap, place a crimson slab with a flower pot. I think that's so that you can brush your teeth, if you're so inclined. No thank you. Couple of orange banners left to the left of the sink. And then we need to make the actual shower itself. So that's made using light grey stained glass pane, difficult to say. Magenta carpet. We need the tripwire hook again. Button. We need, for the toilet, an acacia trapdoor. It's pretty much it. So, the shower is here. It's basically we're going to have like a row of 3 glass pane here, right of the shelf. Tripwire hook, button below it. Leave a gap of 1, and then like next to the toilet, you can place like a row of 3 light grey glass. Extend it towards you, and then just connect it together at the top. The bottom of this is like magenta carpet, and well, that's it actually. If you wanted to, you could place like a drain, you know, anything could kind of like work as a drain. Even an acacia trapdoor sort of looks like a drain. But the acacia trapdoor is meant for the toilet that we have here. And I'm also going to grab a lantern and just place this above, just in this crevice here, maybe here, and then maybe even here, just to keep things nice and light and bright. Perfect. That's the bathroom. So we're now going to head out of here. Still need a plant for this, I will not forget. And I'm going to place a couple, maybe above where the doors are. Maybe above, maybe not every door, maybe just the side doors here. No. Actually, just above those 2 doors will just do. Just to keep things, it's not bright enough, so maybe 1 here. Maybe we can get away with just like in each corner. And maybe 1 in the middle. Just to keep it bright. I don't want it to be too dark. So we're going to... Oh, we also have to just refloor this. So this is Maggie's room. Oh, okay, you know what? Whilst we're at it, because I know that I've got the spruce doors on me as well, I'm going to destroy underneath every single door and also inside here. And anywhere that I've got magenta terracotta on the floor, just going to rip it up and replace it with light blue, sorry, cyan concrete. Anyway, the ultimate goal now that we've done this is that we are heading into Maggie's room, which is the first room to the right as you get to the top of the stairs. So, all the way up here, we want to, stalling for time. Okay, so this is what we need to do. We need cyan bed, acacia trapdoor. We need purple concrete, buttons, warped buttons are just fine. Paintings, we need string, purple carpet, and birch stairs, and also warped trapdoors. So, in Maggie's room, in the, like, as you walk in, back right corner of the room, we want to leave a gap of 1, and then we want to place a cyan bed. We'll place trapdoors all the way around the bed to make a cot. So, or a crib, whatever. We'll leave a gap of 1, and we'll place a purple concrete, warped button in front. Ditch the bed, grab orange concrete, and place a couple in the corner extending towards the door. Warped buttons in front of this, and then we want to have a painting above the orange concrete, doesn't matter which one. There are shelves right next to the door, so we actually need to place a couple of string on the ground. Actually, a couple of string then. We don't need the string on the ground, we need it 1 row off the ground. So 1 row off the ground, a row of 2 string here, purple carpet. Then, above that, another, but like, this is just a set of 2 shelves, basically, just above where this door is. Might even move the positioning of the door here, and then that way it's not in the way of these shelves. So we're going to leave a gap of 1, have a chair to the right of the shelves, and then we need just like... I don't know how to describe this except like it's 1 row inwards diagonally from the corner of the room here. It's kind of not touching anything. This is a... I don't know what you call this other than a baby cage. It's like one of those, like, you know, so toddlers and stuff or babies don't go crawling around and walking around by themselves. That's essentially what that is. I'd call it a baby cage. We need doors. So I'm going to outfit everywhere with doors as well. So anywhere that I think that we've missed some, so obviously to every single room will want a door, including the bathroom as well. But now that we have done, that's Maggie's room, let's move into Lisa's room. Lisa's room is directly opposite. So Lisa's room is opposite of Maggie's. And what do we need in here? That is not the plans for Lisa's room, that is Bart's room. So where did I... Okay, perfect, found them. So... Lisa's room. Purple concrete. We need light blue concrete. White carpet. Purple carpet. Lanterns. Paintings. We need bookshelves. We need magenta carpet. We need end rods. So in this room, I'm going to leave a gap of 1 from the door. Gap of 1. Light blue concrete. A couple of purple. Light blue concrete. Lanterns on top of the light blue concrete. And then we're going to extend the purple concretes 2 rows outwards. White carpet, and then purple carpet for the bed. So this is the top of the bed, this is the bottom, of course. We could probably use some buttons, right? So maybe just a couple of buttons, stone or warped would do. Might even shift the positioning of the door, but also not really. Yeah, let's shift the position of the door. I think it should be 1 row down, so we don't walk right into a cabinet. There we go, that's fine. So leaving a gap of 1 from the door now, we can place a couple of light blue concrete, a couple of rows of bookshelves on top, magenta carpet on top. In the corner... we also have to shorten the room. That's something we've got to do as well. We want to leave a gap of 2 between where we just placed the bookcase, and then a row of magenta terracotta that runs across the end of the room, like this. Then in the corner of the room, a couple of end rods. And then we need purple glazed terracotta above the end rods. Leave a gap of 1, and then we can just place a door. So... the door is for a... what is this thing called? A closet. There we go. So we want a closet. So basically, we just want like a completely blocked up room, except for a 1x2 gap with an end rod in it. And that's all we need. And then we can stick a spruce door in front of it. And then light blue concrete. For the right of the door, we want to have another bookshelf. Lisa's a nerd. She likes to read. Here we go. And it's essentially the exact same design. By the way, I'm calling myself a nerd. I like to read as well. So now that we... nerd. So now to the right of the bookshelves, we want to have a little table. We want to place purple concrete, warped stairs. We need light blue banners. And then you can grab like maybe flower pots, lanterns and stuff, you know. So we want to place... just next to this window, a couple of purple concretes, a stair in front of this. Because this is a desk, I don't know if I've even said that yet. Light blue banner either side of the window like this. So we'll have that as curtains. And then you can have like a flower pot here. Or a flower pot as a waste basket. If you want to add further detail, then something that looks like a book. Nothing looks more like a book to me than actually placing a book on this table. Like here, you could even have a couple of them if you wanted to. And that's pretty good. There's actually nothing else to do in this room except, stop myself, we want to have a painting above the bed. I think that's it. Yeah, I mean, that's Lisa's room. I mean, there's not too much more to it, to be quite honest. Now, let us head out. Let's put something in this pot. It's annoying me. So, I don't know why... but I want crimson roots in this part. Don't know why. I just like it. It looks good. I love the combination of the warped and the crimson. It's a lovely colour combination. It really is. So next to last sort of room that we've got to do up here is we have to do... this is Bart's room. So Bart's room is a little bit different... actually, it's not too different from some of the other rooms, to be honest. I'm very tempted just to dump all these materials. We're going to use a lot of these again, okay? But I think I'm just going to dump out, and I'm going to grab enough materials to do the bathroom as well. So let me just clear out a little bit, and let me figure out what we need. Let me refine. Okay, so to start off Bart's room, we're going to need magenta terracotta, end rods, oak planks, item frames, lanterns, warp stairs, blue concrete bookshelves, and blue carpet. So, where we have the window... we need to shorten the room a little bit. We're going to leave a gap of 2, so 1, 2, and then we're going to essentially just shorten the room by 1 row. So the magenta terracotta wants to come all the way over to the right, leave a gap, and then another magenta terracotta. So we're taking, I guess we're technically taking 2 rows off of the room, and leaving a gap of 1 from this wall. Like, this is, again, it's just another little closet. So it's essentially the same thing as Lisa's. We also want to have an end rod in here too. There's a desk next to this. I don't know why. I guess it's for a computer. It's certainly not for reading. So there's a desk, which is 2 oak planks. I'm going to stick an item frame on the wall and a lantern on the desk. Warp stair in front of this. In the corner, we're going to place blue concrete... two rows of blue concrete, and then 2 rows of 2 bookshelves on top of this, blue carpet on top, boom, bookshelves. We want to have a bed as well, So what else do we need in this room? We actually need the blue concrete again, annoyingly. We need paintings, purple wool, white carpet. We need warped trap doors. We need acacia buttons. Might be it for this room, we'll see. So the bed is pretty much like in the middle of the wall here, and it's 2 rows of 3 purple wool, white carpet at the top, blue concrete left and right, and we want to have acacia buttons in the blue concrete. Bart has a lamp, only one lamp, I guess, which is just here on the right, otherwise I would have put one there too. Oh, I think that there's some sort of picture, it could be a poster or something. Might have to do this. It's a little 1x1 painting above that nightstand. There's also a little desk here. This is in the middle of the wall, just left of the door. And we're just going to put some buttons on this. And above this as well, these all must be posters. It's completely gone out of my mind like what it's supposed to be, but there's obviously reasons for all of this stuff. There's also a poster here just on this wall. It's the same height as the top bookshelf, but it's like right against the side of the wall. There's also a shelf above his bed, which is just a couple of warped trap doors. And that's pretty much all there is to the room, to be honest. I mean, if you want to add a lot of clutter, then you could, but this is pretty much the room at its basic. So now that we've done that, we can head into the bathroom, and we can go to work on the final room of the 2nd floor of the house. So to work on the bathroom, we are going to need something that looks like waxed oxidized cut copper stairs. Try and say that fast. Tripwire hooks, we need yellow banners, levers, we need cauldrons, birch trap door, yellow carpet, we need crimson slabs, we need light blue banners, and a little bit more as well. So a bath, or bath, is in the corner of the room. It's like the far corner, opposite the door. So we need to place a tripwire hook above the bottom block here, and a row of 1, 2, 3... upside down, let's see, waxed oxidized cut copper stairs. We're going to go with the blue stairs is what we're going to call them, or turquoisey. Actually, I don't know what to call this. Teal, perhaps? Who knows? So we want to place 3 upside down stairs, connect them back to this wall. We want to place a lever above the tripwire hook, because this also doubles as a shower, and a couple of banners on top of each other here to act as a shower curtain, and also here for the same reason as, oh, hang on, my bad. So here and on top, there we go. So here and here, just to act as a shower curtain. Next to this, we want to have a toilet. This is a cauldron, yellow carpet, birch trapdoor above this. We want to have, leave a gap of 1, and then we want to have an upside down turquoisey stair. We want to have a tripwire hook above that. Light blue banner above that. In front of this, a crimson slab. Then we want to grab a lot of stuff, isn't it? We want to grab orange banners. We need lanterns. We need crimson trapdoors. Oh, and pots as well. We need pot. There we go. Next to this, we want to place a flower pot. And then on this wall, a couple of orange banners. And then there is a shelf. This is next to the sink. It's basically like this height. It's slightly above the toilet, but if you place this here, you might be able to... No, we can't, so we'll place it above the toilet here, just as a little shelf. There's also an additional shelving unit on this wall, believe it or not, so it's actually a couple of crimson trapdoors. This is going to be hard to place, so if we actually... Hang on. It'll be easier if we do this. I think it's actually right on the top of the wall as well, so if you place a couple of guiding blocks in the form of anything, just solid blocks, and then place some shelves or some trapdoors in this configuration, it's a great place to like hang a lantern basically, and it just lights up the whole room. And they are there, those shelves. So I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anything actually here. I don't think there is. And I mean, this is pretty much the bathroom, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, that's most of the house complete at this point. There's only 2 points of contention, and I'm going to figure out whether we can do the basement in this world or not. So if you'll just give me a second, let me figure that out, and we might consider having a look at the attic. Okay, so I do think that we are still going to be able to have a basement, but it's not going to be as good as it could be, because it could do with being a little bit higher. So we're going to need the light grey concrete, spruce wood stairs, white shulker box, brown shulker box, light grey carpet, item frames, spruce trapdoor, cauldron, and tripwire hooks. So, got to destroy this here. So this is the... Let's just... Hang on. So this would be... This is the entrance into the basement. Like right here, this is the end of the house. So we have to have a set of stairs that's going to start here, and it's going to come all the way down. So that works out for me to be, I've got to dig a little bit this way. A little bit tricky because we've got to dig all this out as well. So that would be 1 stair, 2 stair, 3 stair, and then that's it. So I can only have 3 stairs down, which might or might not be a problem. So we'll see here, right? And then in front of the stairs, we need to have enough room for 3 light grey concrete. So that's 1, 2, 3, yeah? And then the room has to be, let me work this out, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has to be 1, and then 2, my bad. So the room has to, we have to be able to go this way. That's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Like this is the actual amount of space that we need, right? Let me just grab some lanterns as well, just to light this place up a little bit. So this is the amount of space that we need. So, surrounding this row 4 here... Oh, and we have to be able to go back on ourselves. Backwards by... Let me see, how far back do we have to be able to go back on ourselves? We want to have we need a lot of space underneath the stairs. You see, that's the thing. So we need like 1 gap... 2 gap, 3 gap. So, if we have free space behind the stairs here, this bottom stairs, this is the amount of space. So, let's mark this out on the floor because it will make it easier. So, we need 3 rows in front of the stairs, 3 rows behind this stair, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, right? This is the amount of space that we need. This is like the floor for the basement. So we can still have it, which is really cool. It would be better, again, it would be better if we could just go but 1 row deeper. But we can't because we're on a standard super flat. Some of you guys might be in the same predicament as me. So hopefully, well, I don't hope that you're in this predicament. But, you know, it will make it a little bit better if some of you guys are. Because then it's not like, it's not just my problem. It's also your problem. So, what we have to do with all of this, by the way, I wish I wouldn't have got rid of that lantern. What we have to do with all of this, there we go, is we've got to add, so we can put this here. There we go. So, actually, maybe even here. Who cares? Okay. So, we need to, we've got our floor. We need our walls. All of the walls want to be light grey. This applies to everywhere underneath the terracotta line that we have, because of course that's the boundary to the house. So dig all this out because we'll be able to see it. So I mean that's the grass for the outside. Like we want to have all of this dug out. All of this is just directly underneath the end of the house essentially. The ceiling wants to also be light grey where possible. Here, this far, all the what, like we want light grey as far as the eye can see, as far as one could even see with the new implemented telescopes. So, all of this here, this back wall, and there's not even too much down here as the thing as well, but it's just so cool to have these extra rooms because it's just, I don't know, it's the completionist in me, possibly. Now, this is the issue, though, like, because this is so high, I think that we're going to shorten the room a bit so that we don't have that cyan here. And what is supposed to be under the stairs is a fridge freezer, so that's just going to be a couple of shulker boxes. So, in front of these stairs here, we want a couple of shulker boxes as well, and we want some shelves. Now, we're just going to have to place the shelves, and this is where this is where it would be better if it was higher, but we rarely do just have to just, like, go with the flow here. We have to just take it as it is, and we just have to, like, just accept this. So we've got a couple of dryers, a couple of shelves. We want to be able to place a actually, okay, let's skip the shelves then. So we want a carpet on top of the dryer. This is a washing machine, so that is that's a washing machine, so that's why we have the item frame. Leave a gap of 1. We want a sink down here, so that's a cauldron with a tripwire hook above it. We want to have just a brown shulker box just in the corner. Same underneath the stairs, by the way. I think that we're going to stick a lantern here. That should provide all the light that we need. It is dark down here, so that's fine. Maybe even a lantern here as well next to the fridge. There is, I think it's a set of ladders down here. I don't know why I've not grabbed the ladders, or it's something that looks like ladders at the very least. This is next to the lantern. There is there is a breaker box as well for the electric, so that's going to be an iron bar, light grey concrete button here. We need, I think it's called a breaker box by the way, fusible, whatever. So there is also a sofa here as well, so that's going to be made out of three warped stairs, just kind of like here in the corner, and there's not too much more to it, to be completely honest. Like this is sort of like what we're working with right now, and that's kind of the basement. It would be cool if it was a bit higher, but it's not, so what can you do? Okay, so now that we have completed the cellar slash basement, whichever one you want to call it, I'm very happy with this. It looks pretty good. It's quite true to life. It's a shame that we can't get the shovels and stuff. We're actually going to head upstairs now. Oh, and also wherever possible, we'll just stick the doors back on. There is the case of the attic slash loft slash big room above the house, whatever you want to call it. The technical term is big room above the house. I'm pretty sure that that's what they call it when you're buying a house. It's like, this one has a big room above. Anyway, so we're going to have, you see, this is trick. We could leave it like that actually, and then we can always have it so that, we'll just leave it like that. So I've placed a set of ladders that leads up into kind of like the trap door that we have up here. And to be honest with you, like the Simpsons attic is just kind of like big and messy. So, it's bordered as well. So the fact that it's bordered, we're just going to place some spruce planks just as a base. So this is going to be the base of the actual Simpsons house, or the base of the actual Simpsons attic. And I guess that this would be terracotta, yeah. So this is going to be the base of the Simpsons attic. And we need an extra ladder there. And we're going to put a couple of beams in. So there's a beam or two in the attic to, I guess, you know, just to keep the roof up, I suppose, is the technical reason for that. And we're just going to absolutely stuff the attic full of just random stuff. Like, if you want to be a little bit more true to the show and what have you, then feel free. But quite honestly, like, I'm just going to put, like, say, where's the middle of the roof? So the middle of the roof is quite clearly here. I'm going to place, like, one beam, like, right next to where we climb up. And then another beam. How far away is that from the wall? 3 rows. And then I'll place another beam, again, 3 rows away from the wall. So, like, that. Perfect. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to stuff this full of random, just stuff, just whatever, you know? So it depends how crazy you want to get with this, because it is like, the attic is such a large space, and because it doesn't really have any, like, if you wanted to put some Easter eggs in here, then that'd be cool. Like I said, like, the Treehouse of Horror is one that stands out to me the most, really. In the, like, you have Bart's, I can't actually remember, I'm pretty sure that, I think he was called Hugo? I don't know whether I'm making that up, you know, but just a big room. I mean, you could even kind of like, you can even kind of like place things in such a way that it kind of like limits the area. Do you know what what I'm kind of doing now? I should be using like more stuff like this. Like this would be a good way to kind of like just like keep things all in one. Like if you just kind of like place a load of stuff and kind of like make a circle, and just to make it interesting. But again, do feel free to add some Easter eggs and stuff, like if you do see fit. But in a day-to-day like general Simpsons basis, like this is kind of like what the attic looks like. I mean, this is the whole deal. There's not really too much to it, and if you wanted to, we could even like be a little bit sneaky, and we can kind of like bring the roof in just a couple of rows, because when you're actually in here, like if you do kind of like shrink the inside of the roof just kind of like this, you're not going to have a what would be the word? You're not going to have a gauge for how big it should be. Like if you come into the attic, like it's still a pretty decently sized room. So even if you do be a bit sneaky like this, even if you do be, good job the grammar police aren't watching this video. So if we do this, and then if we do this, like just shrink it a little bit, it just helps us. But the only reason that I'm doing this is because just a bit of the completionist in me. Like I feel as though that we've kind of done most of the rest of this, so I don't see why we shouldn't at least give a decent go at the attic. But if you do Google a couple of pictures of the Simpsons attic, like, you're gonna see a really messy, I mean, you will see things that are like references to episodes and stuff, but you're going to see for the majority, for the most part, just like mess upon boxes upon boxes. Like, you know, it's essentially like a regular person's attic. Like, that's what you're gonna see. So, you know, it's up to you how badly you want to like absolutely ram this place full. But I think that's gonna be it for me. And ladies and gentlemen, once you have done this, we've kind of finished the build, so I think it's a good time to kind of like take a look at what we've done, take stock at what we've managed to achieve here, and kind of just enjoy it a little bit. So this is what your house will look like once it has been 100% fully completed, ladies and gentlemen. This may be possibly the single longest tutorial that I have ever recorded for the channel. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button, as it really helps me in the channel out very, very much. Subscribe to the channel, click that little bell to keep up to date with my channel. Make sure that you check out my recent videos, what's coming out. And if you do want to make anything else by me, check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section for more. But without any further ado, I'm going to go, I'm going to shut up, and we are slowly going to work our way through the Simpsons house, and we are going to enjoy what we've built. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.